Haven't heard anything yet about Donald Trump yet as to whether he's placed his vote or where he's placed his vote. New York, of course, a great melting pot, and many people from various parts of the world have made their home there. Interestingly enough, Euronews spoke to 3 Europeans about their opinions and how they would vote who've made New York their home. Somebody from Spain, a jazz pianist and music teacher from Spain, a Russian artist, and interestingly enough, we also spoke to a baker, a patisserie chef, who has lived there for 17 years, an Italian. And he talked about the 2 candidates in terms of patisseries. Now, I'm not going to give it away. Go on the Euronews website and have a look at it, because it is really quite hilarious. He talked about a souffle, one of the candidates looking and acting like a souffle, and what happens to that souffle when it comes out of the oven.
Who'll get the cream cake after all this voting, Paul?
Well, there's the lady thinks she's going to get the cream cake, and the polls indicate, but the margin is so narrow, you have to doubt that it's sealed and delivered at this stage. We won't know the results until around about 5, 6 o'clock this morning, Central European time, and the exit polls should be around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, which would give you a clearer idea. But things now are just beginning to rack up a little gear now that we see Hillary Clinton here in this elementary school. Pictures with a mobile phone, social media, of course, having played such an important and vital role in this election. The most popular social media stories have been the top 5 for both camps. Have been put in like a league table from the various platforms of social media, and you can see which ones have made it into the top 5 for this lady, Hillary Clinton, and which ones made it into Donald Trump's top 5 on the Euronews website. Interestingly enough, 4 of the top 5 social media stories for Donald Trump were people saying don't vote for him, and negative social media stories for Donald Trump. Only 1 in the top 5 was saying why Americans should vote for Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton, as with Donald Trump, of course, the final campaigns, the last couple of days. Hillary Clinton told her audience in one of her final rallies that they did not have to accept a dark and divisive vision of America. So right up until the very end, the arrows and vitriol, even if in coded language, being fired to her opponent. She made her final rally, which you maybe saw earlier in Raleigh, appropriately named, North Carolina. It has indeed been a bitter campaign. The 2 candidates trading insults, both of course becoming mired in scandals of their own. This is Clinton towards the end last night, or the day before, had the big celebs coming out, Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi. And of course at her side throughout this campaign has been her husband Bill, the former president. President Obama and his wife Michelle also spoke on her behalf last night. So there she is, possibly the first lady to lead America. And of course, talking of history, when was the last time that you saw a former president with a partner who would be president anywhere across the world? Well, never, of course, in the US. But has it happened anywhere else?
Would there be a case for Argentina?
Perhaps, yes. So there's a little brain teaser as we watch the hopeful next president of the US place her vote in that school close to where she lives. Americans and people across the globe watching this, because of course she will become the most powerful person in the world, arguably. One analyst speaking a few days ago, a former diplomat ahead of this election, was talking how in the past you watch this as an international diplomat because the President of the United States always gives leadership in meetings, in conferences, and across the world. You look to them for leadership, political leadership, moral leadership. And his opinion was that neither candidate here has the ability, his opinion I say, to give that form of leadership to diplomats, presidents, prime ministers across the world. What, I wonder, would
a big line in there.
Francois Hollande say if Donald Trump does indeed become president? Francois Hollande famously saying that the billionaire made him want to retch. No comment that we know of or that I have seen on the French president's opinion of Hillary Clinton. So, media, a lot of the media have been shooed away out of school. Pictures taken. We'll just stay with these pictures for a few more moments to see if Hillary Clinton does speak at all. I'm not sure whether our camera is still a camera outside the school, but I'm not sure whether our camera and sound is still inside the polling booth. You just hear shouts from her supporters, Hillary, Hillary, Hillary in the background there. Well, I thought that was the answer, that she wasn't going to speak, as the picture went to black.
Because they're not talking to me, they may be killing it and just using the live voting instead. Right. They may just kill me. I mean, they may grab.
So I can hear reporters and correspondents outside the school speculating as to whether we will hear her speak again. As I was saying earlier, Donald Trump has been speaking on the morning of the election. He spoke to Fox News. They gave him a call to see if he would mind talking. And he said he's superstitious. He'd always talk to them during the primaries, and they looked after him. So he said yes, he would speak in the morning of the election. I have so many hopes and so many dreams, which people have seen disappear because of poor leadership. He was asked, would he regret running if he didn't win the race, if he didn't make it to the White House? He said he started a political movement and that he would be proud of that. I will consider it a waste of time, energy and money, he says. And the man has spent over $100 million of his own money on the campaign. That's what he claims, $100 million, but latest election filings show he spent $66 million. What's $40 million between friends? I will not consider it great if I don't win, he said. And Fox News asked for his final message to voters. We have a great, great country. We have a tremendous potential. Go out and vote. And the last we heard from Hillary Clinton was on a tweet, a similar sentiment: get out to vote. Well, I don't think this school has ever seen so many media people, so many crowds outside in the playground, so many cameras.
It's most probably the most famous door in the world at this moment in time, isn't it?
At this moment in time.
You can imagine the carpenter sat at home saying, I put that door in.
And children saying, that's my school.
But who'll be opening the door to the White House?
Whoever it is, you would hope that there is no whitewash at the White House. There's another famous quote. Who said that and when? In American history.
Speaking of this vitriolic campaign. 19 months this has been going on. And we're down to the last few hours. The Daily Beast, Tina Brown, the Daily Beast describes itself as a smart, speedy take on the news, has described this election campaign beset by misogyny, fear and xenophobia, and that Trump has empowered the lout in everybody. You have to say that Hillary Clinton kept her lout well and truly under control during those rather strange presidential debates. Trump was patrolling around the stage, sort of breathing down her neck.
Yes, even the presidential debates.
They were nasty.
They were degraded.
Yeah.
They did not reach the heights and did not stick to policy. Well, I mean, we're repeating what we all know.
I mean, a sweating Richard Nixon was bad enough with JFK, but compared to what we've seen in this campaign, that was nothing.
A defining moment. John F. Kennedy wearing makeup. Richard Nixon couldn't believe it.
That was it.
He lost the election.
He lost
Much,
the election.
actually, many people going back all those years, many analysts were saying that was when Kennedy won and Nixon lost the election, that presidential debate. But
Yeah,
there was
perspiration, down to perspiration and makeup.
But there was no such grand debating this time around. So it looks like we're not going to hear from Hillary Clinton. But do stay with us. We'll have a full update on the latest from the US.
The first results are in one of the most contentious US presidential votes of recent times. Midnight voting in Dixville Notch saw Democrat Hillary Clinton slip into an early lead. She received 4 votes to Republican Donald Trump's 2, while Libertarian Gary Johnson came out with 1. The New Hampshire town has historically been the first to cast and count its ballots, and this year was no exception. Under state law, communities with fewer than 100 voters can request permission to open the polls at midnight and close them as soon as all registered residents have voted. In 3 New Hampshire towns with midnight voting, Trump came out ahead by 32 to 25.
Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton leaving the elementary school close to their home, just outside New York, after placing a presidential vote, no doubt voting for herself and indeed Bill voting for his wife. Have we found out what Bill Clinton will be called if Hillary wins the election?
I could only think that he's going to be the first man. It's all so obvious.
An alpha male.
An alpha male. So she's speaking to her supporters. I don't know whether we'll be able to catch what she says. But the chance of Hillary, Hillary, Hillary.
Seems in reasonable health, considering she's been involved in such a grueling campaign.
Yeah, 19 months, as you say. And her greyish fawn suit in stark contrast to the high power red which she was wearing at her rallies over the last couple of days. These are the type of moments that security forces and personnel fear when a figure like Hillary Clinton wanders in amongst the public, and it's not just Hillary, of course, it's Bill Clinton as well.
And all the marketing managers of the various mobile phones and smartphones will be looking to see who's holding up which brand. Whoever gets the most will be going, we're winning in this part of the election, we're winning outside New York. I think this would probably be the first selfie presidential election.
This is the first selfie presidential election, yes, very much so. So Mr. and Mrs. Clinton, well, the image of the happy couple. The happy power couple.
A consummate campaigner, Bill Clinton. Loves it. Loves it.
Justin, she gets just like, I'm gonna stick my arm out right through there.
Well, let's
we're
just watch
unsure
these
whether or
people.
not Hillary's about to speak, but
Really?
we'll be back for that if she does.
I believe that she will win. 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 I believe that she will win.
What do you think these people believe?
She's got this. She's got it.
Okay, good. Come on, Dan, get in there. Look alive, Dan. Come on, Dan. Look alive.
President, thank you. Mr. President, thank you so much. You've done this before.
Everything's coming behind you.
We love you.
Thanks, guys. We gotta run.
God, no, Maddie, I'll take that because we're in a tight corner.
Secretary Clinton,
Just watch the six.
congratulations. We're with you. Secretary Clinton. We gotta run. Secretary Clinton, what is it? Secretary Clinton, what is it?
Thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you. You bet. With your help. With your help.
What does it mean to vote for yourself for president?
It is the most humbling feeling, Dan, because, I know how much responsibility goes with this, and so many people are counting on the outcome of this election, what it means for our country, and I'll do the very best I can if I'm fortunate enough to win today.
How does it feel to be a political spouse?
Thank you. Thank you.
Hillary Clinton speaking to the media.
I've had 15 years of practice.
I've had 50 years of practice, said Bill, her campaigning husband, by her side throughout this 19-month campaign.
Well done, Dan.
I missed the top of this. Me too.